Welcome back to Shameful Locks. We're here for NFL Week 2. It's been a great Week 1, great start of the season for us. My name is Gabriel Costa, is my co-host here, Mr. Blake Profio. Blake, overall thoughts on Week 1?
Overall, it was a great week, man. We had some good bets. We won some money.
Oh, yeah.
Our teams won some games,
Did that.
and we will cover all that here in a second.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do a quick little victory lap for those who were not here last week. We'll give you a reason here real quick to maybe tail us this week because we had a very profitable Week 1 in the NFL. I went 3-0 with my picks. Blake, you went 2-1, so total we went 5-1. Those are great. That's a great start. I mean, the only thing better is if maybe we hit the TD parlay, which we didn't. That's just unfortunate. But again, that's a $10 bet. That's fine. And then, I mean, again, we lost one bet. That's fine. But yeah, let's do a little quick victory lap here. Blake, your game pick last week was Panthers +4. Not much more needs to be said about that one. Bryce Young, still ass.
Yeah, I really didn't think the Saints were good. I still don't think they're good, but the Panthers might just be total dog shit. So that's another team I will never bet on again, the Panthers, and we'll move on.
So safe to say you're not backing the Panthers this week against the Chargers.
No, I kind of wanted to, but I'm not going to.
That's awesome. But you started off with that one, but then you went on to go on 2-0 on your next two bets, which was your player prop of the week, which was Najee Harris over 52.5 rushing yards. He got in the 60s or 70s, didn't he?
Yeah, I think 60 something. But yeah, I was over, so that was good.
Yeah, and he looked good out there running too. He didn't look like he had shit in his pants this year or week. So it's a good start to the season for Najee. I'm happy to see him with a little good pep in the step. O-line was blocking, I'd say, above average for him too. So good win there. And then your shameful lock of the week, or your best bet, if you will, was James Cook here. He went over 62.5 rushing yards, which is what you took.
Yeah, that we'll have to cut this up. But all right, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, it's what I expected. Buffalo, they don't really have those receiving weapons, so I knew they were going to rely on the ground a little bit. And currently in the Thursday night game, he is going crazy. So probably should have bet him this week too. But
yeah, I actually bet a James Cook touchdown last week, and he didn't get it. Josh Allen had 2 of them. And we are recording here on a Thursday night. It's a halftime of the Bills-Dolphins game. I think it's 24-10. It was right before half, is what I saw, because Dolphins kicked a field goal. And I'm playing against James Cook in fantasy. So 3 touchdowns in the first half, just not what we want to see. That's just not what we want to see. I did bet James Cook rushing yards before I saw I was playing them this week in fantasy. So I'm not going down completely, I guess, if you think about it. But yeah, let's get back to my picks. So like I said, I went 3-0 last week. Vikings -1. Giants suck. Like I said, that was a system play. I hate Daniel Jones. Giants suck, but Vikings, I don't know. Is Sam Darnold not bad?
I mean, I think he could be serviceable, but I mean, it was the Giants, so we'll see. I think he could be okay. Good.
Don't worry. He goes from worst to best this week. They play the 49ers. So they'll find out if he's worth a damn or not.
But the one thing is, he was on the team the past 1 or 2 years. So you might know that defense. So I don't know. That could be something to look into.
That is interesting. My player prop of the week last week was Rachaad White over 20.5 receiving yards. He hit that in like the second quarter. He finished with like 40 or 50 receiving yards. So that was huge. And then my shameful lock / best bet of the week was Raiders Chargers over 3.5 field goals. I got to say, Gabe's favorite bet is field goals, and they stay printing. What can I say? Don't be surprised if we see another one this week.
Yeah, you had a good week, and the field goals kind of put a nice cherry on the top of it. That's your go-to. That's your bread and butter. So Yeah, I would be really surprised if I didn't see another field goal back. So
Hey, it might be, but it's gonna really suck because if I keep doing well on them, my shameful lock is just gonna be Gabe's field goal bet of the
yeah,
week,
yeah.
essentially.
Hmm.
um, but hey, if they're winning, nobody can complain. So Blake, like I said, you went 2-1. You went positive 0.73 units on the weekend, and then like I said, I went 3-0, so positive 2.81 units on the week. Great start of the season. Like I said, we did lose our touchdown parlay, but again, those don't really count towards our record. We do those for fun and just kind of track them as a side bet thing. We threw $10 on it. We had Aaron Jones, who did score, and Dalton Kincaid, who just couldn't get anything going. I think he had like one catch for 10 yards or something like that.
Yep.
Cardinals were double teaming his ass all game, so gonna be tough to do there. Wouldn't be surprised me if he comes out here and scores in the second half. Just kind of a quick little like middle finger to us. So, um, but yeah, enough gloating about how we did. Let's put our money where our mouth is here and let's talk some bets for this upcoming week. Blake, you want to start or me?
Uh, you can have the honors, Mr. Sweet. Take it
Thank you,
away.
thank you. All right, all right. So if you're new here, you might have picked this up on our recap, but we go one game prop, one player pick, and then one of our best bets or our shameful lock in the spirit of the name of the show. But yeah, I'll go ahead and start with my game pick. I am going to go ahead and take Buccaneers plus 7.5. They are traveling to Detroit this week in a rematch of the divisional playoff game they played last year. And I got this at minus 110 on FanDuel, which I actually took this before it changed. I actually grabbed this at 7, but I've seen that, or I altered it down to 7.5. But since then, the line has moved where that's actually the regular line now. Um, but yeah, I like I said, if you were watching the last few weeks, you saw in my preseason future bets, I'm high on the Buccaneers this season. I've got them to cover over 7.5 wins. Um, Everyone's really high on the Lions this year, but 7.5 is a lot of points. I think they lost by what, 6 in the playoffs. The Rams, as with the decimated offensive line that they have, they took the Lions to overtime, and it was a close game. I mean, Lions were losing, I think, about half that game. And the Buccaneers have a much better offensive line than what the Rams have, especially after everyone got injured to hell. I just think Baker and the red hot team that they had, especially showing off, I know, against the kind of a abysmal team of the Commanders defense last week. I just really like the Buccaneers in this spot. I wouldn't be surprised if they win outright, but I think they're definitely going to keep this game close, and I think it's going to be a one-score game.
Yeah. First off, if Baker can play the way he played last week and the way he played most of last year, um, plus 7.5 shouldn't be an issue. I do think there's going to be a lot of points in this game just because two high
Mhm.
powered offenses, and then defenses are, they're okay. They're not great, but middle of the road. This could be a good revenge game for the Bucks traveling back to
Absolutely.
Detroit from the playoffs last year. So see what happens.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if the Buccaneers won this outright. I don't know what the money line is, but I just think this is going to be a lot closer game. I think people are a little high here on Detroit, which I'm not saying they're not a good team. I think people are underestimating the Bucks here.
Yep, I agreed. Agreed. Okay. So heading to my game pick. This one hits home.
Oh no.
Steelers traveling to Denver to play the Broncos, and I will be taking the under in that game at 36.5 points. And I got that minus 110 on DraftKings. So first off, looking at these offenses, both of them don't score a lot of points. I mean, the Steelers had to kick 6 field goals last week. I know the Broncos scored 20 last week, but a little fluky with some safeties and stuff. So that was kind of weird. Um, I think the Steelers defense will shut the Broncos down, especially with the rookie quarterback in Bo Nix, who I think's overrated. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I don't think he's good. He might be good in the future, but right now, I don't think so. The Steelers regular season last year, their games went under in 11 out of their 17 games of the regular season. And then for the Broncos, 9 of their 17 regular season games went under as well. So both teams have decent. I mean, Steelers are really defense. Broncos defense is okay, but both offenses are pretty mid to bottom tier. So under 36.5. We'll see what happens. Steelers better win. It might be a trap game, but
Yeah, I know us as Steelers fans, we've been talking about this all week, is that we feel better about the Steelers than we did going into last week. And classic Steelers, right when you start to feel like, oh shit, yeah, hey, they're favored in this game. They could win this
Yeah.
one.
Yep.
Classic Steelers, they play like the worst fucking team in the NFL. So can't wait for that one. We're kind of expecting to be let down here. But it's the lowest over under of the week. Don't be surprised if some field goals. Just saying.
That'd be crazy. I mean, you never know. Chris Boswell.
Hey, 6 last week. Some of us may need 4. We'll find out. Stick around.
Yep.
That's a good pick, though, Blake. I like it. All right, I'll head over to my player prop of the week. I am taking Gardner Minshew Mania, over 204 and a half passing yards this week. I got this at -110 on Bet365. Definitely shop this one around because I've been seeing some weird lines for this one. I think I've seen like around 215, 216 to just 200. I think on ESPN bet at like -125, but I think he can get those extra 5 yards. I'm going at -110 here. But yeah, Raiders are going up to Baltimore to play against the Ravens, who just lost to the Chiefs over on opening night. I definitely don't think that the Raiders are going to win this game. I would be pretty surprised. I think they're 9.5, 8.5 point spread.
Yeah.
Not in their favor. But yeah, you know what that's perfect for is passing the ball. You know, when you're losing, you don't run the ball, you pass the ball. Gardner had, I think, a little over 230 last week. I want to say it was 237. I just think this is a perfect scenario to go over. I think the only way that this bet doesn't hit is if Gardner Minshew gets hurt or he gets benched, which if it is a blowout, don't rule that out. But yeah, I'll knock on some wood.
Knock on wood right now.
I'm knocking on that one. But no, I just think Gardner Minshew going over 200 yards. I mean, that just doesn't sound that bad. Mahomes threw for 291 on him last week. I know Gardner Minshew wasn't Mahomes, but if you're losing, you're throwing the ball. I'd like to think that the average NFL quarterback could get 200 yards in a game, especially in maybe some garbage time or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, the Ravens will probably. I think they'll definitely respond at home against the Raiders, and they're going to be passing a lot. I think they might be getting killed, like you said, but they still got Devontae Adams. They still got some good tight ends. So Minshew likes to sling the rock, and hopefully he does a lot of that on Sunday. I think is it when they play? I don't know.
Yeah, they do. I think they're a 1 o'clock game, but yeah, I said they like you mentioned, they've got good weapons. They got Devontae Adams, they got some Brock Bowers, they got some Jacoby Myers. He likes to chop it down to the running backs in Madison and Zamir White. I said he's not surrounded by garbage. It's just maybe the offensive line. Well, anyway, give me 200 yards, Minshew. Come on, man.
Very nice. Okay, so we're heading back to that Lions and Buccaneers game, and I'm taking Amon-Ra St. Brown over 80 and a half receiving yards, and I got that at -120 on DraftKings. So that Sunday night game last week, Amon-Ra was a non-factor. It was the Jameson Williams show. He had a touchdown over 100 yards, and I think Amon-Ra is going to bounce back big time this week. Last year, he went over this 80 and a half yards mark in 11 out of 16 regular season games. And the biggest thing is they're playing at home in a dome, inside, perfect conditions. This is when the Lions offense is at their best and clicking. And then out of his 7 home games last year, he went over this mark in 6 of them. So I'm expecting a big bounce back game from him. Last year when he played the Bucs, he had 123 yards receiving. So I'm thinking he might go crazy. Gonna be a lot of points. So
yeah, like I said, I think that game does have one of the higher over-unders of the week. Both two really good offenses. And he was so quiet last week, you know, in the media and everything, they've been asking, yo, Amon-Ra, what's going on? Why are we not getting him the ball? I think it's going to be an exact situation where they're like, you know what, fine. Yeah, we'll get that guy the ball. But yeah, I think 80 and a half, that is not a line you will see for Amon-Ra St. Brown in a few weeks. Definitely should be a little bit higher. It's definitely a good buy low spot, if you will. All right, it's that time of the week now. We are going to our Shame-Ful Locks, or our best bets of the week. We are both 1-0 on the season on these, which is a great hot start. Definitely what you want to see. I'm going to a game that Blake definitely mentioned earlier. Some of us may have been winking or hinting about it. I said, hopefully this, actually, you know what? Hopefully it does become Gabe's field goal bet of the week, because I'm only going to keep rolling with it if it keeps winning. And like I said, it's a good good thing I like to look for when I try to think of what game I like to target for the field goals is a really low over under. And the perfect game for that, like Blake already talked about, is the Steelers Broncos under over 36 and a half. So I am taking Steelers Broncos over 3.5 field goals in the total game. I got this at plus 100 on Bet365. I think DraftKings and ESPN bet offer this bet, but they didn't have the line out yet. But yeah, I grabbed it already. Usually games have this around like plus 130-ish if it's less likely to happen. But getting this at plus 100, I'm never going to say no to that. I feel like that's still a steal.
Yeah.
Boswell, 6 field goals last week. I don't know how many the Broncos had. I know they lost 26-20. I know they had 2 safeties, so
Mhm.
their box score was a little funky there. But I know they had at least one, I'm pretty sure.
Mhm.
But yeah, 2 solid defenses, 2 offenses I don't think are the most potent in the NFL. Great over under. I think this is a great opportunity here for over 3.5 field goals. Hopefully I can put the 2-0 there on my Shameful Locks, which essentially is just my Gabe's field goal bet of the week.
Yeah, I mean, like we talked about earlier, I like the under. I don't think these teams are going to convert a lot of touchdowns. So a lot of field goals, Mile High City. So the ball is going to travel further. So that might be to
Oh, that's a
your
really good
benefit
point.
too.
That's a great point.
Boswell might hit a 70-yarder. Who knows?
Forgot about that.
Hopefully, Steelers win and some field goals and not a lot of points.
Unless it happens to be someone else. We'll talk about that.
Okay, we will talk about that at some point later in the show, maybe.
Maybe.
All right, so my shameful lock of the week is a guy he's back, fully back.
Oh, yeah.
Cooper Kupp over 85.5 receiving yards. I got that at minus 120 on DraftKings. He's healthy. The wide receiver opposite of him, Puka Nakua, is out. So where all the targets are going to go? Right to Cooper Kupp. We know Matt Stafford loves Kupp. What was it, 2 or 3 years ago? He won the Triple Crown and won the Super Bowl
Yeah, I
before
want to say that was
before
2
his
years ago.
injuries.
I want to
Yeah,
say it was 2 years ago.
obviously last year he was hurt, and Puka emerged and became really the star of that offense. Just because Kupp was hurt, wasn't himself. Um, last week, Kupp caught 14 catches for 110 yards. He just was absolutely dominant. He looked good. He was toe tapping on the sideline. He's going to get a ton of targets. Like I said, Stafford loves Kupp. And the Cardinals defense, I can't name one person on their defense. Can you?
uh no. Buda Baker.
No.
Buda
Okay.
Baker.
Well, yeah, one guy.
Give me one. Yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, with all those factors, the Cardinals defense isn't great. I don't think their pass defense is great. Um, yeah, I think Cup is going to torch them and have a big game for the Rams.
Yeah, I think his over under on receptions is 8.5. I mean, obviously plus money on eight and a
Mhm.
half, but
Yeah,
what do you have, 21 targets last week? I mean,
yeah,
even if you
crazy.
double target them, I mean, Stafford and Cup have that weird connection where like they're, like twins have or like
Hmm.
siblings have, or like you just like kind of be thinking the same thing.
Just knows.
Anyway, it's nuts, man. I think it's a good bet. 85.5. Again, like you mentioned with Amon Ra, I think this is going to be this line's only going to go up as the season goes in. So great to get a rabbit now. So that'll do us for our bets. We're going to track for our own personal record. But now, like I mentioned, we're going to go into our joint TD parlay. This is just, again, not counting towards anyone's record. This is kind of a $10 side bet we do every week. We both pick one person we like to score in a respective game and parlay it and run it. We did go 0-1 to start the year, but like I said last year, we finished 6-9. But don't let that discourage you with a losing record because these are often like plus 400, maybe plus 500, maybe 6-7 even. But winning of $10 on a plus 500, that's good to go 0-5. I think we won, if you put $10 in every single one of these last year, we won like 230, maybe 240 bucks. I don't
Yeah.
have the exact number in front of me, but yeah, these are a fun one. I like doing these. And yeah, without further ado, this week I'm going with Jaden Daniels, anytime touchdown scorer. He had 2 rushing touchdowns last week. Dude's I was looking at his rush yard line, but it's like at like 55 or something like that, which is just crazy to take on a line for a rookie in his second game ever. I know they're playing the Giants, but yeah, Jaden Daniels is not afraid to run. He had some issues with his helmet flying off, so hopefully he plays a little safer. I think I have him in fantasy in a league or two as my quarterback. But yeah, inside the 5, and he doesn't like what he sees. He's not checking it down. He's fucking taking it himself. Got that little Josh Allen in him. Again, I just hope he plays it safe and doesn't get hurt early in his career. But yeah, give me Jaden Daniels anytime touchdown scorer this week. Blake, what do you got?
Who do they play? Who do the Commanders play?
Play the Giants.
Oh, the Giants. That's right. Yeah, Giants suck. I mean,
Yeah,
how could you not like any touchdown score against the Giants? It's hard to beat.
I agree.
All right, so my this is pretty this is a coincidence. I didn't really think about this, but
Oh no.
we took the under in the Steelers game. Well, I took the under in the Steelers Broncos game. Gabe took the field goals over. I'm going to take Najee Harris touchdown. That
Oh
might
no.
sound crazy after everything we just stated, but I think the Steelers are going to score at least once. Najee is usually the guy to do that, like on the 1 yard line, jump over the pile. Um, I think the odds on this on were
I
like,
got the odds. Najee was like plus 185 on
yeah, it was
DraftKings
pretty high.
just for him, which is kind of surprising to me.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, I know Justin Fields is going to be likely to be starting. But if you go ahead and parlay Najee and Jaden Daniels, you can get that best value on DraftKings at plus 555. So a $10 bet will win you $55.55. I think that's pretty good value for two guys. Ideally, I know we're kind of threading the needle here this week because me being betting field goals, he's got the under, and we've got one Najee touchdown. But no, I think we'll be all right. Like this is really going to be a game that's going to have one touchdown, two touchdowns. Hopefully, one of them can be Najee.
Yeah.
I'm thinking. Sorry, I'm thinking here. Give me 16-9 Steelers in that game.
I was thinking 20-10, but that
20
doesn't
field
give you your
goals.
field goals though. So I don't know.
Well, maybe they go for two, and then
Yeah, it is the Broncos. They do some weird stuff. So
yeah,
see what
I like
happens
it.
there.
Hey, just give me 4 field goals and a Najee touchdown with me, as well as assuming we go under.
Yeah,
But if
I'll
you're
take
taking
it.
4 field goals, there's a pretty good chance we're going under that 36.5, Antonio.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, that'll wrap us up for week 2 here in the NFL. Blake, you got any closing remarks for us?
Mike McDaniel, Dolphins coach. I think he's overrated. I mean, he has some of the best weapons in the NFL, and yet always loses to the Bills. Yeah, I don't know. I just had to put it out there, but
He
gonna win
looks
some.
like the not that I would know, I was a business student, but oh, sorry, it's terrible timing. Tua just got pick sixed.
He's bad, dude. He's seeing ghosts out there.
Tua's thrown 3 interceptions. We were kind of hoping we were on the opposite sides for this game. I was on. I took an alt line of Bills plus 3.5. Blake took minus 2.5 on the Dolphins. So we were kind of hoping that we could both win. Dolphins win by 3.
Yeah.
31-10 Bills right now. How you feeling about that one, Blake?
My game picks have been awful lately, so maybe maybe the game's gonna go over on Sunday. So maybe fade me on that. That's my suggestion. Probably fade me. So
Hey, you know what? That just means you're due. If you
true.
think about it, you're just due.
I'm overdue.
Overdue. Hey, this guy's like a library book. Overdue. Book it.